This video, I'm going to show you the 3 truths about thoughts, the vibration of objects, and energy fields that will change your life. By the end of this video, you'll understand more about reality in a much more esoteric and powerful way than ever before. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some pretty trippy ideas. These are going to be ways of looking at reality that science is beginning to learn as far as how energy affects energy and how you can go about life in a way to where you have this awareness so that things don't necessarily have as much pull over you. So thoughts, energy fields, and the objects, the vibration of objects. Now, first off, let's understand that when we walk around, just going around our house, I realized this actually months ago when I was going through some things and I was doing a lot of inner work. And what happened is I was on one side of my house, right over there in the dining room, and I had a certain thought. I was thinking about something that was irritating me. And I was sitting there for a couple minutes thinking about it, trying to figure it out. And then, of course, I realized, hey, Aaron, you can't solve a problem from the same level of consciousness the problem was created. I go, oh yeah, I remembered that. So I just said, okay, I'm gonna leave that problem I have, and I'm gonna go outside, and I'm gonna ground myself, because that's one way that I change my state. When I change my state, then I kind of look around, and I can figure out the problem that I had. I can see it from like a new point of view. So also happens a lot when I get, like I'm on my computer and I'm getting frustrated because I can't figure out something. I'm just sitting there like this, trying to figure out stuff. And then what happens is all of a sudden, I'll get mad and I'll be like, I can't figure this out. I can't figure this out on the website. Can't figure out this little tech thing. And then I'll just keep trying because my ego wants to have control. But then eventually what I'll do is I'll just walk away and I'll change my state and I'll come back and boom, like that, I figure it out. It's like I just go and I'm like, oh yeah, I just do this thing right here. It's like this and I'm done. It's easy. Now here's what happened. I go like that. I go outside, I ground myself, I'm walking around, I'm feeling good, and I come back in, I'm like, okay, I'm glad that I got that out of the way. Then I go, oh yeah, I left my SD card reader over there, the SD card reader that goes into my MacBook. So I go over there and grab it, and I'm over there for a minute looking at it, and then all of a sudden, I feel that once I walk back into that room, these thoughts start to come back to me. And this was actually a period of time later. This was like a couple hours later. I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and get that SD card. I go back there, just not even like thinking about what happened in the, what I was irritated about before, but then those thoughts start to come back to me. And then I had another occasion where it was something kind of similar in a certain room in my house where I have like my meditation stuff. It's not my meditation room, but it's like a room where I have like, it's like a relaxing room, a creative room. I was thinking about something in there, and it was a similar type thing. I totally forgot about it. Left, come back, and I start having the same thoughts about that really specific niche thing. Well, then I started to read certain books, and I started to learn more about the metaphysics of this. And it turns out, our thoughts are literally things. Our thoughts are invisible to us, but when we go places inside of our house, we are thinking thoughts, emitting out a thought vibration, and those thoughts are lingering there. And then what happens is we leave, we go to another side of the house or whatever it is, and then we come back to it, and then we many times will pick up those thought forms. So the first truth I have for you on thoughts, energy fields, and the vibration of objects is that you are leaving a trail of thoughts everywhere you go, and you are picking up thoughts based upon your vibrational resonance. Based on your vibrational resonance. So for example, if you are in a level of consciousness of anger, and you are driving down the street, and somebody cuts you off and you get angry, you will pick up on the thought forms of all those other angry people that have also gone down that street before where those thoughts are still lingering. Because of vibrational resonance. Then you will think, you'll get even more angry. You'll think, I am angry. But really what it is you are these thoughts are attaching themselves to you because of vibrational resonance, and it's compounding everywhere you go. So the key to this is being aware of this and then choosing, do I choose to get angry? Do I choose to feel this way? Because if I were to walk around my house feeling in a high vibe, when I go into these other sections of my house where I thought these negative thoughts, they wouldn't attach themselves to me. It's because I'm at a certain level either unconscious and just going in the autopilot mind, and then I'm able to recycle those same thoughts that are just kind of in our energetic fields. And therefore, they won't have as much pull. Pull? There's a pull. Pull over me. And because they don't have as much pull, then it's not like I'm being as influenced. But have you ever felt the vibration of different places? You ever go to like a library and feel a certain type of wisdom and just maybe information? Lior and I went to one of the fellowship for Yogananda in LA. And there's this beautiful lake, all these meditation like chairs and stuff to sit and meditate. Very, very high vibe. When you go there, you can feel the vibration of it. It's a very high vibe place. My guess is that there's many, many, many other people that go there to meditate. So when people go to there to meditate, they're putting out this positive thought vibration. It's being charged with this energy. And then as you go around this lake and there's all these different places to meditate, you just feel so high because of the purity of intention. So the thing that I encourage you to do, here's a couple tips for this. Clean out your space. Clean out your space. What I mean by that is either sage or Palo Santo is a powerful tool. Sage or Palo Santo is something that you can burn. You can clear energetically with your, using your intention. Your space, open up the doors to let the air flow through. Do that for 5 or 10 minutes or longer and clear out your space occasionally. And then make the choice that when you're thinking negative thoughts, you then switch your thoughts to something positive. You realize that if you're in a positive thought, you're not going to have these thought forms attach themselves to you. And when you're more aware of that, then it doesn't have so much power. Because then you can switch the thoughts. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is the vibration of different objects. Now, let's say, here's a good example. There was one time that I was with Lior, and Lior and I, this is like in January, this is a while ago. And we went somewhere, and she put on a sweater because it was colder outside. She put on a sweater that she hadn't worn in a while. And then what we did is we went somewhere, and she found herself getting worked up about things, just kind of out of nowhere. Like, we would go somewhere and she would get worked up about things, and she realized that she was she was in a certain state. Now, what I just recently learned is I learned about how our clothes are charged with the energy of us and the different states that we're in. And I felt this as well because I had some clothes that I wore back in the day that when I would wear, I remember I was going through some stuff. And then now if I were to wear that same clothes, sometimes I find myself thinking about those same things again. Now in the same way, Lior was wearing a sweater that she started to feel like triggered in when we were doing different things, and she was trying to figure out where the emotion was coming from. But then she realized that same sweater was one that she wore with her ex, and all of this crazy stuff happened, and in a way that energy she felt like she could feel, and she was feeling in that triggered type state. So what then she did is she took off that and she put on something else and she felt way better. Now this is a powerful reason why every now and then you might want to be aware of switching out getting some new fresh pieces of clothes. Doesn't have to mean you spend a lot of money, but it means switching out your clothes. Something else that I personally I've never really liked to do, but I'm not in any way, shape, or form telling people not to do this, because I'm sure that you can also cleanse your clothes. So, for example, if you were to go to like the Buffalo Exchange here, and I don't know how many states that's in, but Buffalo Exchange is where people go to trade clothes or to get hand-me-down clothes. They're normally pretty cool vibe and stuff as far as like the style. However, I never will buy clothes that has been worn by someone else before. Not because I'm bougie, not because I have this really high taste, because I just always kind of known that the energy of the person is in that clothes. Unless it's somebody that you really want to be in a similar vibration of. So I don't go to, and if I did, I would really have to cleanse it. I'd like to sage it, I don't know, like have some crystal water that I put it in to cleanse the energy of it. That's what I would do if I got clothes like that. However, realize that certain objects hold. That's also, what do they call that? There's people that can hold certain objects and then tell you the memory of it. And objects do have a memory. They do have energetic imprint of memory. And that means that if somebody has there's people that can pick up, you can give someone a piece of jewelry and they can tell you information about the owner of that jewelry or that jewelry itself, which is very interesting. But objects are charged with energy. Energy is information. Information is programmed and can have memory. Objects can have memory. So when we're talking about energy fields, objects, thoughts, it's all information. And being aware that it's information is what's very powerful about this process. Now, the thing I encourage you to do, once again, is maybe cleanse certain objects, maybe clean and realize if you're feeling certain negative emotion. These things don't have power over you if you are aware of it. But if you're unconscious about it, sometimes it can have power over you. If you define it that way, so that you get a negative thought about all this, everything I'm sharing with you right now is very empowering. Doesn't mean you have to be self-conscious about everywhere you go. Has somebody thought a negative thought over there before? If you are of a certain vibration, it will not affect you. Let me show you what I mean. My stick figure. Energetic field. Now, our energetic field, we have certain thoughts that we're thinking. Now, these are different vibrations. Now, if you're in a high vibration and you go into a certain place, there may be these low vibe thoughts of people being angry, of the last time you thought about something you were angry about, all these things. If you are in a high vibrational thoughts, though, these will be invisible to you. You won't even perceive of those. So the key to this is understanding that you prefer to be in a high vibration. And a lot of also, this is going to be a side note right here, when we're in meditation, we have this energetic field around us. What I believe happens many times in meditation is information is downloaded into our energetic field from our spiritual guides. And then what it does is we have these toroidal fields around our body and inside of our body. The information then comes through, and then we conceive of it and we're aware of it. However, the information may not come within our own mind and all of this stuff. It may just become in our energy field, downloaded, and then go within our energetic field in a toroidal field type fashion, and then we become more and more aware of it. So that's what I believe happens with that. Now, the third thing I want to share with you, the third truth that I think can completely change your life, is understanding that the more high vibrational thoughts that you have, the more high vibrational reality you will perceive of. Now, let me share with you what I mean by this. When you are thinking thoughts that are in lesser alignment, say you're trying to think thoughts of get rich quick. You're not passionate about it. You want to get rich quick. And what's going to happen is sometimes a lot of other people that are part of get rich quick type things. And what I mean by that as well is the negative connotation that a lot of times people associate with that. Of trying to get something for nothing, of trying to just, quickly generate something without developing the skills or the mentality or whatever it is. If you have those thoughts, then what will happen is you're thinking the thoughts of the get rich quick, you're going to link up with other people's thoughts of that, which may be a desperate type energy. You see? Because then you're in that vibration, which means you perceive of other thought forms, other vibration, other opportunities that are in alignment with the same type of train of thought of those people that are trying to get rich quick. Or if you're thinking about something that you're angry about something somebody did to you, you're angry about somebody that cut you off, all these things. Well, guess what? When you're of and aligning your thought stream with those thought streams, you'll start to think of other things as well that those people may have thought of. You may even start to like the diet that a lot of those people like. People that are angry there's some people that may eat just to feel up an emotion. And they may eat a lot of carbs and sugar. You see? So this is about being aware of these different thought vibrations and being aware of how they may influence you. When I saw Bashar, one of the questions I asked him is I said, what I realize is that sometimes I'm listening to certain songs. Maybe I listen to a song that's really much in the mainstream. You know, all the kids are listening to it. I listen to this song, and then I start to have thoughts. I start to almost feel what those other people, millions of people over the world, the main demographic for those people, are also thinking and feeling as they listen to a certain song. I start to pick up on the energy stream of it. And I asked Bashar about this. And what he said is, he says it's all frequency. So when you are listening to certain type of songs, it's tuning you to a certain frequency, and then you're picking up on the frequency that all the other people are also tuned to that frequency, are thinking and feeling. Now, the higher vibrational thoughts you have, the higher vibrational reality you will perceive of, and the higher vibrational opportunities that will come into your life. So when Paramahansa Yogananda talks about thinking from the divine, and he talks about being in the divine states, being in divine levels of consciousness, when you're praying or tapping into your own divine self, you will then perceive of other thoughts of those higher vibrational nature. As you raise your vibration, you have more of a desire to add value to other people. Because as you start to have these higher vibrational thoughts, you then start to resonate with the consciousness of higher vibration, which is to add value to other people, realizing that we're all one. You see, this is a part of raising consciousness. And it's not so much that you are generating those original thoughts, it's that your thought stream is in alignment with the divine, and in the alignment of the divine, you'll find that you have a certain level of desire, a certain level of will. You align to the universe in a certain way, and all of this happens because of your alignment to your divine self. But if you're acting from a lower vibrational ego self, you'll find that a lot of your desires remain there. A lot of the things in your life that aren't working out tend to remain there. You feel like you have to control every situation in your life because you're coming at it from the point of the ego. You see, your thought streams are charging your energetic field and causing you to perceive of more of that vibration. So my recommendation to you here is to start to think and be more in the divine, because you are divine. You're simply dreaming that you are the 3D ego self, and that's all that you are. You are a divine being. And the more that you absorb into this understanding that you are a divine being, is the more that you will perceive of a divine reality, and the more that you will have higher vibrational thoughts that then align you to a higher vibrational purpose. You see, the universe wants to flow through you. And with a flow state, that's what happens. When I do these videos, I'm in a flow state. People ask me, say, yo, Aaron, how do you make so many videos? I'm in a flow state. I'm feeling higher vibrational energy. Therefore, it's not me. It's not the ego me that's like, Aaron makes daily videos. He also speaks in third person. See? It's more like the more you get into the flow, the more you start to realize your own divine, is the more that you're able to embody the divine. So this key to this process is understanding, clearing this out, and allowing yourself to be in a high vibe. Now, something I do have, you want to clear out this energetic field. And part of that has to do with clearing out things from the past that haven't been completed. When you complete the past, you no longer have to repeat the past. Most of the problems you have in your life are coming from a belief that you are not worthy. So one of the most powerful meditations I've ever made is a meditation for completing the past, so you no longer have to repeat the past, and it's a meditation for feeling 100% worthy, whole, and complete. If you listen to it for 21 days, your energetic field will change in a very powerful way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that meditation below, read the comments to see what's possible, listen to it for 21 days, and watch what happens. Also, if you haven't already, the only way you see the daily videos on YouTube that I have is if you hit the notification bell. So if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see the daily vids. I have a lot more good stuff coming, some deep ideas that I'm excited to share with you. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.